children. So, other than the remains of the animals like Indian rhinoceros, wild ox, archaeologists have also found the remains of the bones of horns and tusks of the animals like wild fox, elephant, and even the man, they had learned to hunt the animals by trapping them. So for that he has made net also, and through and he had also made the large pits and the holes, and he used to cover with the leaves and twigs, and when the animals they were trapped in that holes or pits, then those animals were hunted and killed by the primitive man. And a kind of different kind of axes also, wooden handles, spears, long tools were also developed during that time only. And then he also learned how to split the wood or the bamboo tied with a creeper. And then he also learned how to join these sticks by using the gum or resin. So this is how he was improving the quality of the tools and the weapons. So from small size tools he started making the long size tools, and he also learned how to join the stone with the wood, and he was making the longer tools, and from at a distance only he started targeting the animals for killing them. Then initially he used to chase the animals, he had to run a lot with to the animals, but now he was using the spear, and he was also using the hand axes and the choppers and some wooden parts also. And now finally children, we have come to the case study of Hungsgi, which we have read just now in the map of India, political map of India. So Hungsgi is a place in Karnataka, and it is situated in the Shorapur Doab. And Doab is a land, okay, it is a land which comes between the two rivers. It is a land between the two rivers. So Hungsgi is a place in Karnataka which is situated in the Shorapur Doab, and it is the land between the river Krishna and its tributary means supporting river Bhima. And here number of Palithic sites have been discovered. And archaeologists have also found a large number of tools here which were used by the Palithic people. And archaeologists have also drawn this conclusion that the region has several springs of water which supplies the water to the people living in that area. And during the dry season, the people they used to camp near the water sources, and then they used to hunt the large animals, those who come to drink the water nearby the water sources. And they also spread out over the region during the wet season and dependent upon the more edible plants and the small prey. And the artifacts found at Hungsgi are mostly the tools which were made of the limestone available over there. Okay. So with this children, I have come to the concluding part, and now these are the borers. Okay, so most of the artifacts found at Hungsgi tools were made of limestone, and the borers for making the holes. Okay, today also we have the bore wells now. The bore wells we are digging under a very long hole, a very deep hole is there under the surface of the earth. So these are the borers used by the early man for making the holes, and tools which can be used both as borers also, and scrapers were also made. So the tools which are made from hand axes and cleavers, they were scrapers and the knives. So these were the different tools made by the early man children. So with this I have come to the concluding part of the chapter. But before that I would like to have a recap of the chapter, what we have done in this chapter. Let us have a recap. Yes children. So we started our chapter with the Stone Age. That is the Paleolithic Age, and the Stone Age is the longest period of the human history, okay, which is divided into three stages: Paleolithic Age, Mesolithic Age, and the Neolithic Age. So we have read in detail about the Stone Age, that is the Paleolithic Age children, and we have got all this information through the archaeological remains. So this is how the archaeologists, they go on the field work, they go on the sites, and with the help of their excavations, with the help of their digging work, excavations, you can see in this picture that they have taken out a skeleton, they have dug out a skeleton. So this is how the archaeologists, they carry out with their work with the help of their tools, measurement tapes. So with the help of archaeological remains, we have concluded that this was the early man, he was a primitive man, and this is how he used to make the tools. He used to make the tools that he is making. What he is doing here, he's holding two stones of different sizes, hand sizes in both the hands, and now he is hitting the bigger one with the smaller one, and this is how he is making the cold tools. Then he used to live together in the groups. Then he learned the ways also to defend himself from the animals, wild animals. He was living in the natural shelters like the rocks, caves, forest. So these are the special features of the early man. He was a nomad. He moved in search of food, water, shelter. And he also learned how to make fire. He lived in the clans and the groups. And he developed his oral language and he created cave art. So this is what we have read about the Stone Age, children. About the Paleolithic Age, which was the longest Stone Age. Old Stone Age. And we have also learned about the two special features of his occupation. He was a hunter, he was a gatherer. And he lived in the group, and the group was not very large. He learned how to hunt, how to gather. He had a nomadic life. And these are some of the tools which were made by the early man. These are the cold tools. These are the pear-shaped tools which are known as the cold tools. And some of the flake tools. These are some of the flake tools which were made from the cold tools. Then we also began our chapter with the evolution of the early man. That how the early man, he developed from a stooping ape-like creature. And then slowly and gradually how he learned to stand on the 2 feet. He freed his hands and started using his hands for performing different activities and the functions. So at the last stage you can see this is today's human being, who is known as the Homo sapiens. And these are the Ongees people of Andaman Nicobar Islands. So today also they are holding some of the ancient ways of life. So some of our ideas about the life of primitive man can be gathered, can be confirmed by observing today's tribal people living in India. And children, this is a picture of the Ice Age. Okay, the Paleolithic Age is also known as the Ice Age. And here you can see the snow is completely frozen here. And the thick sheets of snow is spread everywhere. So this is showing that the temperature was very lowest during that time. And the climatic conditions were extremely freezingly cold. Dry arid regions. You can see here dry arid regions. So this condition lasted till upper Paleolithic Age. And then in Mesolithic Age only the temperature slowly started increasing. So with this chapter I have come with this. So now I have come to an ending part of this chapter, children. So with this the chapter is completed. So see you again in the next chapter, children. Thank you so much.